Archangel Michael says, there's something trembling in the spirit tonight, and it's coming directly from the core of your daughter's heart. She is not screaming it with her voice, but the universe is shaking from the silent echoes of her pain. Her soul has been whispering a truth that no one has paused long enough to hear. Every heartbeat she carries has been laced with sorrow she cannot fully express. Behind the smiles and her calm responses lies a truth that even you have not yet uncovered. The world sees her strength, but heaven sees her breaking. This message did not arrive to frighten you, but to awaken you. A hidden cry is reaching God's throne every night while she lies in silence. A crack in her spirit is expanding with each passing moment you remain unaware. Archangel Michael says, this is not a matter of imagination, it's a call, spiritual and real, that must be heeded without delay. Her eyes may not shed tears, but her spirit is pouring oceans. And those oceans are beginning to overflow into realms that cannot hold pain much longer. Type Amen to get blessing 333. She has been speaking in codes, not words. Her recent silence is not comfort, it is survival. And survival is not living, it is merely holding on until someone finally asks the right thing without using words. There's a memory she has tucked away, locked in a part of her that's out of reach even to herself. She's holding the burden of something she thought she had to carry alone. But what she needs now is not advice, not correction, only presence. Every time she walked into a room and said, "I'm okay," she meant, "Please notice that I'm not." Every little change in her mood was a signal. Every pause in her sentences was the gap where truth almost spilled out. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You've looked at her, but tonight, you're being asked to see her. Not with your eyes, but with the divine awareness this message is unlocking. Because there is a wound inside her heart growing quiet roots of despair. She's not just tired from work or overwhelmed by responsibilities. She's spiritually exhausted from pretending everything is fine. Her smile is not healing anymore, it has become her disguise. There's a night coming soon, and that night will be a turning point. If you act before then, you will change the path she's silently walking. If you ignore this message, that night will carry her further into emotional shadowlands she doesn't know how to escape. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Archangel Michael says, God's light is shining over her, but it needs your hands to deliver it. You are the key to the lock she buried within. Her breakthrough begins the moment you approach her not with pressure, but with soft, unconditional presence. Someone has said something to her recently that changed how she sees herself. That person may have no idea the damage they caused, but her soul knows. Her faith in her worth cracked, and she's been hiding the pieces. She's been pretending to move on, but she's stuck in that moment. Something she hoped for was crushed, and no one noticed. And now, she's afraid to dream again, in case it breaks her a second time. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Look closer at her body language, it's revealing what her mouth won't say. Her breathing pattern changes when you mention certain names or bring up certain topics. Her laughter feels more like a performance now. She's afraid of being judged if she opens up. Somewhere in her past, her vulnerability was used against her. That wound is what made her start hiding her truth. This isn't a phase. This isn't a mood swing. It is a heart buried under emotional dust waiting for someone brave enough to dig. Type Amen to get blessing 777. She cries when no one is watching. And not always tears, sometimes just an empty silence while staring at her own reflection. A moment of stillness, a quiet war inside. There was a moment when she almost confessed. But your tone made her retreat. She's testing you, silently, to see if you're ready to hear what hurts. If your heart can hold what she's been holding for far too long. Someone she trusted is no longer the same. There's a betrayal she has not forgiven, even if she tells herself it doesn't matter. But it does. It still bleeds inside her. Type Amen to get blessing 888. There is still time. That's why this message was sent. You are being granted access to see behind the curtain before the final scene plays out. Archangel Michael says, her soul is begging for connection. Not a solution. Not a fix. Just for someone to say, I see you. I hear the pain you don't speak. She might push you away when you first ask. That's not rejection, it's fear wrapped in defense. Don't retreat. Don't react. Stay. Because the second time you ask, her soul will tremble. The third time you ask, her silence will crack. And the fourth time, she may speak. Type Amen to get blessing 999. There are shadows in her room at night, not spirits, but thoughts. The kind that replay every mistake, every word spoken to harm her, every dream she abandoned. She is haunted not by ghosts, but by expectations. This is not a dramatic moment. It's a divine moment. She's not seeking pity, she's starving for safety. Don't wait for her to collapse. Don't wait for a breakdown. Her pain deserves to be heard before it reaches the point of no return. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Someone is influencing her negatively. Someone who pretends to be supportive but is emotionally manipulating her. And the scariest part? She doesn't even realize it fully yet. This person's words have wrapped around her mind like vines. Little by little, choking out her joy. She's been taught to see herself through their judgment. If you can recognize who this is, you must distance her gently. Don't accuse. Don't attack. Just guide her toward truth. Let her rediscover her light. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Her strength comes from God, but right now, she's spiritually tired. She's been praying silently for rescue, wishing someone would just ask what's wrong without her needing to explain. There's a room she goes to where she feels most alone. It may be her bedroom. It may be her walk in the garden. That place has become sacred to her brokenness. You need to step into that room. Not physically, but with your presence, your love, your readiness to hold the pain she cannot yet speak. Type Amen to get blessing 000. Her future is still open. But if this pain continues, it could write chapters she never deserved to live. God is offering you a sacred invitation to rewrite what's coming. Your role is more powerful than you think. Not just as a parent, but as a healer. Your love is a balm she hasn't felt in full for a long time. Sit with her. Not with questions, but with quiet understanding. Listen to the silence between her words. That's where the truth is hiding. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There are dreams she abandoned because someone laughed at them. Goals she buried because she believed they were too big. But you were chosen to remind her, nothing is too far if she still breathes. If she once had a journal, go look at it again. That journal holds the clues. She used to write her dreams in symbols, now those symbols are warnings. The younger version of her, the child version, is still waiting for you to notice her sadness. That version of her has not disappeared. She's only hiding inside her adult shell. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, if you ignore this moment, regret will visit your heart in the days to come. But if you move now, blessing will multiply. Her heart is ready to open, but it must be held with holy care. Tell her she is not weak for feeling this. That crying in silence is not shameful. That healing starts when someone finally says, I believe you. A hidden scar runs deep across her trust. But your consistency can mend it. Not all at once, but over time, layer by layer. Type Amen to get blessing 555. She is waiting. She may not say it out loud, but she is. And this message proves the divine is calling you to her aid. Don't try to be perfect. Be present. That's what matters now. Speak her name in prayer tonight. Cover her spirit in light. And when the time comes, your arms will become her sanctuary. Type Amen to get blessing 777. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Above script with the same tone, format, and structure, carrying the message deeper into the emotional and spiritual layers of her silent cry. She remembers a time when she could laugh without faking it. That time feels far away now, like a dream she barely believes was real. What she needs most is for someone to say, I'm still here even when you're not okay. There's something specific she wanted to tell you last week. She paused. Then decided against it. That moment still aches inside her because it was her chance to open the door, and it closed. The moment you show her you're safe to speak to, she will return to you emotionally. She'll stop withdrawing. Her energy will shift because her spirit will know it's finally heard. Type Amen to get blessing 121. This journey is not only about her healing, it's about yours too. There are things you've left unsaid for years, emotions buried in the name of strength. This is your sacred chance to walk through healing together. Her unspoken sadness has created invisible walls around her. But those walls are not concrete. They are paper thin for the one who comes with love, patience, and divine timing. She fears being misunderstood more than anything. So she plays roles to avoid questions. And in doing so, she drifts further from herself. Now is the divine moment to catch her before the drift becomes distance. Before the distance becomes disappearance. You were chosen to be her lifeline. Type Amen to get blessing 343. There is a deep well of sensitivity in her that many overlook. But it's that very sensitivity that makes her so powerful. She feels everything, and lately, she's been feeling lost. One voice in her past still echoes loud. A voice that criticized her when she was most vulnerable. That voice embedded a false truth she still believes. You must become the louder voice now. The one that says, you are not what they said you were. Your words must be chosen not for correction, but for comfort. Speak life into her soul where others spoke fear. Replace the echoes with truth. Let her hear love where before there was only silence. Type Amen to get blessing 828. She doesn't need grand gestures. She needs consistent compassion. She needs to see that her truth can exist safely in your presence. God has orchestrated this moment so that healing can begin, not only for her, but for generations to come. When one heart is healed, a family tree is transformed. She's not broken. She's bruised. And bruises fade when held with tenderness. You were sent this message because the time is now, not tomorrow, not later. Heaven saw her pain. And heaven has chosen you to answer. Type Amen to get blessing 434. She needs your patience. She needs your stillness. She needs your non-judgmental ears. Don't try to understand everything immediately. Just listen. Let her lead the way back to herself. Every child, no matter their age, still longs to be seen by the one who raised them. That longing never dies, it just gets buried beneath layers of experience. You can dig it back up. With presence. With soft, sacred attention. With love that doesn't demand her to perform healing quickly. Type Amen to get blessing 171. Archangel Michael says, the pain in her is not permanent, but it must be acknowledged. Ignored pain becomes bitterness. Heard pain becomes freedom. There is beauty in broken things. And she is not shattered, she is sacred in her unraveling. She's becoming, even when it looks like she's falling apart. She still prays sometimes. Even when she thinks no one hears her. But God hears her. And you must now be the hands of that divine response. This isn't a message you stumbled upon by accident. It's an appointment from heaven. Her healing was scheduled long before this day came. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Watch for signs. A song she hums. A painting she starts but never finishes. A sentence she begins but hesitates to complete. All of those are entry points. Invitations. Doors waiting for someone to knock on them gently. If you wait for her to explain everything before you believe her, you'll miss the moment. Believe her now. Believe her pain. And the rest will unfold. She has been punished by the world for being too soft, too loving, too trusting. Now, let her learn that softness is strength when it's safe. Type Amen to get blessing 909. Don't let pride stand in the way. Don't assume she knows you love her. Say it. Out loud. And say it more than once. She needs reminders, more than you think. Reminders that love is still real, still alive, still hers. The devil works silently in shame. But heaven works loudly through love. And your love is about to become the greatest breakthrough she's ever known. Let her fall apart without rushing to fix it. Let her cry without telling her to stop. Just be with her, and heaven will do the rest. Type Amen to get blessing 313. This moment is a sacred turning point. What you do next will ripple into eternity. You are not just responding to a daughter's sadness, you are partnering with heaven to restore a soul. The winds are shifting now. You may feel it in your chest, a warmth, a pressure, a stirring. That is your spirit recognizing truth. She is not alone, and neither are you. The divine has wrapped this moment in angelic light. Everything changes now, because you chose to listen. Archangel Michael says, your daughter is about to rise. But first, your love must lift her gently from the silence she's grown used to. Type Amen to get blessing 414. Certainly. Here's the next continuation of the message, picking up the emotional and spiritual energy exactly where we left off, and going deeper into her silent inner world and your divine role in her healing. There's a photo of her somewhere that captures more than just her face. It shows her soul at a moment when she believed in herself. She looks at it sometimes, quietly, remembering the version of her who still had hope. But lately, even looking at her own reflection brings hesitation. She wonders if she's still worthy. Still seen. Still important. She doesn't need more pressure. She needs peace. And that peace begins with your soft awareness, your ability to sit without needing to control the moment. Type Amen to get blessing 737. There's someone she recently lost trust in. She hasn't told you yet. But it's someone close enough to her heart that the betrayal pierced deeply. She's afraid that if she speaks up, no one will believe her. Or worse, they will say it's not a big deal. But to her, it is a big deal. Because her emotions have been silenced before. You must be the first person who says, your feelings are valid. No matter how small or strange the situation may sound, you must believe her pain without interruption. That is the first step in her deliverance. Her spirit doesn't need to be instructed. It needs to be embraced. Type Amen to get blessing 616. She has walked into rooms lately feeling like she doesn't belong. Her confidence is fragile, and she hides it well. But inside, she constantly compares herself to others and always feels like she falls short. The world has spoken lies over her. You're not enough. You're too much. You're not what we expected. And sadly, she started believing them. But you can reverse it. Every time you speak life into her, those lies weaken. Every time you say, I love you exactly as you are, the chains around her begin to break. She needs to be reintroduced to her worth. And only love, not lectures, can do that. Type Amen to get blessing 292. She doesn't need a million people. She just needs one person to stand with her without giving up. Someone who can carry her when her legs are tired from emotional storms. You were chosen to be that someone. There's a room inside her she hasn't let anyone into in years. The door isn't locked, but it's heavy. Only love can open it. And that love must come with patience and presence. You may be the only person in her life who has the power to unlock that door. And once you do, she will begin to heal, not just for today, but for life. Type Amen to get blessing 353. Archangel Michael says, there is still time to rewrite this chapter. But you must move gently, guided not by urgency, but by reverence. She is more sensitive than even she knows. She's connected to divine emotions. That's why she feels deeply and falls hard. When someone like her gets hurt, it doesn't just bruise, it echoes. But when she's loved fully, she doesn't just heal, she radiates. You are about to witness the transformation of her soul. But only if you stay close through the storm. Type Amen to get blessing 484. There's a prayer she whispered recently, thinking no one heard. Please don't let me go invisible. That's not just a thought. That's a cry. You must be the answer to that cry. When she starts talking about random things, listen closely. Often, the truth she's scared to say hides inside jokes and casual comments. If you tune your heart, you'll hear what others miss. She's begun to believe she's a burden. You must prove otherwise. With your actions. With your softness. With your consistent presence. Type Amen to get blessing 191. She has dreams she tucked away in a mental drawer years ago. She stopped speaking them aloud because someone once laughed. But those dreams still breathe inside her. You can awaken them. Speak life back into her forgotten passions. Ask her what used to light her up as a child. Ask her what she would do if no one judged. Let her feel like her dreams aren't too big. That her desires matter. That her ideas aren't foolish. Type Amen to get blessing 818. She's not just your daughter, she's someone's future leader, healer, creator. But she needs this season of repair to prepare her for what's coming next. If you help her now, she'll remember it forever. You will become the moment in her story when everything shifted. You'll be the reason she says, I made it through. God is watching this moment. Not from afar, but with divine interest. The angels are standing ready, waiting to see if love will win. Type Amen to get blessing 727. The next time she walks into a room, pay attention to her eyes. They speak louder than her voice. The sparkle may be dimmed, but it's still there. Let her know she doesn't need to hide. That her true self is not too much. That you're strong enough to carry her silence and her storm. Her healing is not just about her. It will heal others connected to her. She will become a fountain of restoration for many, if you help her now. Type Amen to get blessing 636. Archangel Michael says, your daughter's next chapter depends on the love she feels right now. Not later. Not when she's already damaged. But now, while she's still silently calling out from within. She is like a rose that closes its petals at night, not out of fear, but because it doesn't know if it's safe to bloom in the morning light. You are her morning light. Let her feel your warmth again. You don't need all the answers. You only need the willingness to stay beside her while she finds her own. That alone will shift the storm around her. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. There are old photos of her on your phone, go back and look at them. Study the light in her eyes. It's still there, just buried beneath emotional dust. Your job isn't to fix her. It's to blow the dust away with breath made of gentleness. To remind her who she was before the world taught her to shrink. She once wanted to change the world. But now she's just trying to survive each day. You can remind her that both goals matter, and she's allowed to want more than just surviving. Type Amen to get blessing 4545. There may come a moment soon where she confesses something hard. Your reaction in that moment will be the most important thing. Stay soft, stay silent, stay steady. Let her cry without shame. Let her feel without fixing. Let her break down, because only then will she build herself back up, with your love as her foundation. She might say something shocking, something unexpected. But remember, this is not about your opinion, it's about her release. She's handing you a piece of her heart, receive it with reverence. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be present. That's all she needs right now. There is no timeline for her healing. But there is a requirement for your patience. She doesn't need you to rescue her, she needs you to walk beside her while she rescues herself. Watch what happens when you begin to show up in small, consistent ways. A door will open. And the light that pours from her will stun you. Type Amen to get blessing 8888. There's a version of her that's been waiting for this day. A younger self that still sits in her spirit, watching silently, wondering if anyone sees her. Speak to that little girl inside your daughter. Tell her she's safe now. Tell her she's home. When she smiles again, for real, without pretending, you'll know you did your part. You'll know you answered heaven's assignment. And she'll never forget it. Type Amen to get blessing 4747. From this moment on, listen more. Respond slower. Love deeper. She will not ask for help in the way you expect. But if you tune into her energy, you'll always know when she's not okay, even if she says otherwise. You are not just her parent. You are her divine witness. And heaven has trusted you with her story. Type Amen to get blessing 3939. Look for her signals. The late-night texts that say, "I'm fine." The way she lingers before walking away. These are not coincidences, they are breadcrumbs leading you to her truth. Follow them with care. Each one brings you closer to her hidden world. And soon, that world will unfold with healing if your love keeps showing up. She might never say thank you in the way you hope. But her heart will remember everything you did when she couldn't speak. That's the kind of love that never dies. Type Amen to get blessing 5656. Archangel Michael says, angels are already surrounding your daughter. But now they await your action. Your voice, your presence, your steady heart. Speak her name tonight in prayer. Hold her close, even if just in spirit. And let this message become the miracle she didn't even know she asked for. Your daughter's cry has been heard by heaven. Now, let her be heard by you. And in doing so, you will become her greatest blessing. Type Amen to get blessing 77777.